and do so it fades off like that. Both will work, okay? But for hard shiny stuff, I'm way better off using a hard brush that's got a small hard highlight. Okay, that's what if you look at something that's shiny and hard, it's going to have bright, small highlights, not big, broad areas. Okay, so there you go. And then the Lactimo also picks up a little bit. So brighter. It has these two little fold thingies there. Let's see. Oh, still on my airbrush tool.
How long does it take to color fade?
Depends who you are. No, it depends what it depends too what the page is like. Most people in the industry have to color, I'd say, on average, 2 pages a day, but be ready to color 6 if they had to. Most professionals. Yeah, it is. All right, and then let's go ahead and just do the eyeball, and then we'll move on to funner things. All right, so I'm just going to select it. I don't need to select it because I know a flat pen.
Have you always worked off the Windows operating system?
Well,
Or does it not matter? Right?
it was a Commodore operating system at one time, and then and then it was Macintosh for a while because there was one period during the beginning of this stuff that only the Macs had the horsepower to actually color, and then we changed. Then things changed, and the PCs just got more powerful, and I do a lot of 3D modeling and animation, so that almost dictated that too. And there were just, I think they're still probably cheaper, but. Okay, that's the pencil tool. I want to render that a little softer, so I'm going to go with that airbrush tool that I set up before. Now, the eyeball is actually the iris, the pupil is on the outer, because you have a layer of the eyeball that comes out, right? And then on the iris it comes out too, but really going through, that's all transparent. The actual structure, the iris goes in concave, right? So remember that when you're rendering these things, so you know what the shape is. So okay, so let's get something good here. I'm used to using my keyboard equivalents on this thing. Let's see. Bring back up. We're gonna light it around. And we go darker in the middle. You're gonna try and follow like also the rendering, the render that's been set up there. So again, we just want a base there. We're just gonna do really super basic, and then I'm going to go back to pencil tool for the highlight. I'm gonna go back to the layer above. So I want to crash into my line art a little bit here, so I want to be above it, and just being pure normal, I can go over it. And I'm going to take now remember we talked about warm lights, I'm going to take that, the highlight and shift it over more towards the yellow warm, bring it bright. That's going to be an illegal color. The way you get around that in Photoshop, if you want to work in RGB, is you have your proof colors on, and it'll show you what it will look like when it goes to print. That's CMYK printing, not inkjet printing. Inkjet printing, you mostly don't have. Yeah, they have to worry about it a little bit, but it's much more forgiving when you have like 12 colors you're printing with. So, here. And let's say I wanted to soften those a little bit more. I'll go ahead and grab the smudge tool. And I can just take it and I can just start doing absolutely nothing. Oh, I grabbed the wrong tool. I slipped. Okay. All right. I can take it, just, I'll kind of just blend them out a little bit that way. It's much more, you have much more control using the smudge tool for doing those little blends than you are if you use the blur tool. Okay? But I'll show you some other ways to do that too as we go. Okay, so basically we have our face. Now see, I missed this part in the flat, so there's that little kind of goop of stuff there. You can take the smudge tool and fix that real quick rather than going and painting it. You can just shove it up. But it looks like that might be on a layer now. Let's see, where is that? Should be there. Yeah. Thank you. But I don't think it's 20 now. Just shoving it. Let's see if it works. Here we go. See? Just stick it back up on there. Okay. So that's basically how people color a page. Okay. Yeah.
Just regarding this, what you did to the skin and then you added the shadow.
Uh-huh.
So as opposed to going deeper with the, I don't know what color you're using for skin, but you went to a complementary color, is that right?
Yes.
And if you were going to do a medium, a change in a medium area as opposed to a dark shadow,
Uh-huh.
would you also apply the cooler color versus, a deeper?
Well, yeah, I mean, here, I'll show you, let's see, let me show you an example. Let's take this finished page, actually, and I'll show you a way to kind of overall tone even a page to make it, to help you unify. Because again, you take a lot of these metaphors of what we're doing now are from how people used to do this before the computer. So, let me jump back and we'll see what Andy did. There's Andy's. See, Andy actually did a nice hard edge on that lower lid. That's a good move. That was nice. It's interesting. But overall, when I got this page, I wanted to have a little bit more grit and overall tone to it. And so the way you kind of unify that kind of stuff, I don't know what that is. Let's see. Is there. See, now I brought it over. I wanted it all to be warmed up. And not only does this layer, and this is in soft light mode, about 30%. So it's really just doing a wash over. It's like doing a wash over the entire page.
Just unify it.
With the color, yeah. But what it also has going on it too, you can't see when you zoom out like this. See how there's a texture in there? It's sort of a bit of a noise, which at the end of the day helps that page, when it's printed, look a little bit less computer colored. That layer by itself looks like this.
Any shading you do, you're not just applying pressure to the color you're already using. You would always go to the complementary color, no matter how gradual the shade on the skin.
No, I mean there'll be, if you're in white light, you're in white light. So, but the thing then to remember and think about, if you're rendering somebody against a white wall and it's really going to be total neutral light situation, then start thinking about what the flesh does. Start thinking about how usually around the nostrils we get a little bit more redness. Think about where the shadows really drop on the different areas, where parts go in and out. Everybody should have a mirror by their drawing table or computer, so you can see yourself. And if you have one of those little, desk lamps, you can take it and move it around and see really, okay, does my nose, oh look, my nose casts a shadow up there when I do that kind of thing, or my nose shadow does that. You really notice things that when you study it that you won't notice normally. Okay, so that was now. Let's go to another one to look at. Let's see.